you're not warming up properly or at all. Everyone's seen the person that walks into the gym and they do a little and that's it. If that's you, then you need to up your warm-up game. You need to at least warm up the muscle groups that you're going to work. So if you're going to train your shoulders, your upper body, at the very least do an upper body warm-up. So that might include something like, with a band, just grab the end of the band, pull a little bit of tension, shoulder dislocation, so back over your head, keeping your arms straight. We can unshrug your shoulders all the way back and then back over just as far as you can comfortably go. So from the side, we'll just make sure we're not arching your back or leaning back too much so everything else stays fixed. Back, up and over. We can do about 10 of those. That is going to help. I'm going to do something else to warm up your shoulders as well. So that's going to get your shoulders moving. We can do some shoulder rolls. So we can go forwards with your shoulders, gentle rolls. And then of course we want to go backwards as well. This is nice and gentle. We want to keep this nice and gentle and easy to start with. Then we can maybe do some head turns. We can go left to right. Again, we want to do about 10 of these. 10 in total, or 10 each side, depending on how much time you have and how beneficial you find them. Then we can go up and down. So just making sure your neck is nice and warm. And then the last one, we're going to do some tilts. So just try to make sure your shoulders stay unshrugged. And then when we tilt over to this side, you want to feel it all down the side of your neck here. And then down the opposite side, just as far as you can comfortably go. Keep things moving. Okay, a few more bits that we can do to warm up your shoulders. Might want to do some band pull aparts. So hands about shoulder height, about shoulder width, with a relatively light band, keeping your arms straight. And we are going to literally, as if we're trying to pull the band apart. So we're pulling the band towards your chest. And then again, we can do about 10 reps of these. And I'm going to show you one now where we're going to get down onto the floor and we're going to do a T-shape. So 4 exercises back to back. So for these 4, we're going to go belly down, use a mat if you want to. And then we're going to have your arms straight out in a T-shape. To make this more difficult, you can add a small weight in your hand. I would suggest half a kilo to a kilo at most. That should be enough. And we're going to keep your arms straight. The main thing we want to try to not do on here is lift up your chest by arching your back. So we're trying to do the work from your shoulders. So keeping your hands in line with your shoulders, we're going to aim to lift up and lower back down. Keeping in that T-shaped position. And we want to aim to do about 10 reps on here. I'm going to do just 5. One more. Ideally do 10 of those. Then we're going to bend your elbows. So your elbow is in line with your shoulder, about 90-degree elbow bend. And then from here, we're going to keep your elbows down, again without lifting your chest up, without arching your back. We're going to try and lift your wrists and your forearms. Your wrists can stay neutral, so we don't want to try and just lift your wrists up. We're trying to lift your forearms up. So we're trying to get that external rotation. We're trying to warm up those rotator cuffs. So I'm going to show you one more. Okay, number 3 in this group of 4 is going to be, we're going to try and lift up. So your elbows stay in line with your shoulders. Again, we try to not arch your back, but we lift up your elbows and your shoulders, both at the same time. And I'm going to show you one more. Again, ideally do 10 of these. So the 4th one, we try not to arch your back. We try not to arch your back and lift up. So we're going to try and lift your hands up, palms down. Rotate round at shoulder height we go palms up, we rotate round, all the way round to your hips, keeping your hands as high off the ground as you can, back up towards your shoulders, rotate, back round again so your palms are down, and then back up to overhead, and then we go again. At shoulder height, we rotate round so your palms are facing up, all the way round to your hips, keeping your hands as high as you can comfortably go, rotating back round so your palms are facing down. One more time, palms down, round to shoulder height, rotate round so your palms are facing up, all the way round to your hips, back up to your shoulders, rotate round so your palms are facing down, back up to overhead. Okay, so that is an example of a shoulder or upper body specific warm-up before you do anything at all. Also, I'd recommend at least a couple of minutes on some form of cardio, which might be a rower or an air bike or a cross trainer, and that will make sure you're nice and warm and loose, ready to train. We want to make sure that we're warm and loose before we start. We don't want to feel cold and tight. If you found that useful, give me a little like and a subscribe.